So finally, folks, it's here, the man himself in motion, Chaden, Kozuki Oden, the Chad of Wano in motion. And so far, thus far, it's been pretty damn dope. Whitebeard versus Oden in the anime was studly. Soon to come, Roja versus Oden, and after that, Roja versus Whitebeard. Oh, I'm sorry, Whitebeard. I'm not used to that. So listen, clearly,
clear as crystal,
a lot of folks recognize the greatness of Oden. And in the manga, we know full well just how studly he is. He's in Kaido's top 5. Arm and Haki, probably some of the strongest you've ever seen in the verse. The only man to give Kaido a permanent scar. We all know. I have several videos planned for Oden, but this one I think is gonna be pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. When I was going through the write-up of this whole video, I'm like, yo, this actually, like, the write-up was fun. What if Oden was at or in Marineford? Of course, I mean in the pre-time skip in the Marineford War. What if Oden never left the Whitebeard pirates? Or what if he was an ally of the Whitebeard pirates? Oh, yo, this is... I have to do more of this stuff. I absolutely do. So of course, support your boy with the thumbs up or thumbs up to you. Of course, clicking on that bell to join the squad. And of course, subscribe to the channel as well. That'd be awesome as all hell. And on top of that, if you don't know, now you know. Twitter, Discord, Patreon, DLive, all those links in the description box down below. And of course, the timestamps as well. Now, one thing we have to talk about, first of all, obviously, is this has to be in terms of the pre-time skip, because I have to set the ground rules here. This has to be in the pre-time skip terms. And in pre-time skip terms, Haki is not really a fully fleshed out concept, I would argue. Observation Haki, more so than, let's say, armor Haki, but armor Haki is in itself a bit strange. Like, for example, Blackbeard fought against Luffy and impelled down. He said that Luffy's armor Haki was apparently growing, or it had improved. But we're like, wait, what?
What?
In hindsight, Luffy used Haki against Blackbeard at that point in time, and Blackbeard noted that, but we don't see his jet pistol change in terms of attack. Kind of weird. A lot of times, they just denote to Haki's being used here. Like when Aokiji got stabbed by Whitebeard, he's using Haki, and they tell you that. So, because Haki's not a fully fleshed out concept in Marineford War, and the real Haki that Oden has is one of his core things that make him so devastating in combat, it's a bit weird. So later on in the video, I'm gonna simplify that so it makes a little more sense in terms of the pre-time skip. And also, because it's a pre-time skip, at this point in time, Oden's going to be 57 years old, not 59 years old. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter, but because he's going to be at this point in time, again, 57 years old in age, he's still in his prime years. Arguably speaking, he hasn't deteriorated in strength. People like Gar, people like Rayleigh, they have noted to their old age being part of the reason why they are no longer as strong as they used to be. As well as Don Chinja, I believe too. He was sick and he was older, so he couldn't produce the same level of power that he could back in his prime. But Oden is not the same way. So even though he's almost 60 years old at this point in time, he is still, I'd argue, in his prime years. And then of course, finally, the Marineford War situation is going to be the case that we see in the actual canon series. So Ace is captured by the Marines. He's going to be executed. The Allies arrive there first in the distance, and then afterwards, in come Whitebeard pirates and the Moby Dick ships. They arrive from the bottom with the coating. So that whole thing is the same. That whole thing has not changed, okay? Squardo's attempt to kill Whitebeard, Luffy, and the impelled down crew arriving, Blackbeard arriving, Shanks arriving, all these things apply in this situation as well. So now that the grounds are set up, let's get into it.
Oden! Number
1, Oden as a member of the Whitebeard Pirates, 2nd Division Commander. So in this case, Ace would be either the 4th or 5th division commander, and then Vista and Curiel and Water Buffalo Adamus, like these guys just drop down. Speed Jewel, they drop down. Or Ace is like the top subordinate of Oden in the 2nd division. Something like that, okay? Not necessarily a big deal there, but just letting you know that Ace, he's still a part of the crew in some way, shape, or form, clearly. But Oden, I think for sure would be still at this point in time the 2nd division commander. Still, Izo stays on board through and through, like he did clearly. But also Neko and Inu stay on board as well. And the main thing here for those two is Toki. They leave and they go back to Wano country during Roger's voyage because Toki gets ill during Roger's voyage. So she has to return back to Wano country. But would that be the same thing in Whitebeard's journey? Because Roger's going to Skypiea, he's going to Fisherman Island, he's going all over the place. Where Whitebeard's just chilling. So it gets really complicated there when you factor in Toki. So let's remove Toki entirely. And then let's just say, okay, for the sake of argument, Inu and Neko, they were still on board Whitebeard's ship when Oden was there, so just keep them there. Which means that Inu and Neko would also be a part of Whitebeard's crew fully at this point in time. Now, you could maybe suggest that Izo double back to Wano country because, well, Kiku's his brother. So, maybe the other scabbards join as, oh, it's crazy!
Psycho!
Maybe the other scabbards join as well later on with the Whitebeard pirates. But you can argue maybe not because Izo didn't go back anyway. So, minimum, if we go by who was on Whitebeard's ship at that point in time, Izo, Neko, Inu. They don't become the leaders of Zou at all. None of that happens. They are Whitebeard pirates through and through. Which to me means that for those two, Neko and Inu, they actually are stronger in this situation come pre-time skip than they are now in the actual canon series post-time skip. Because they're going on a journey fighting against other pirate crews, fighting against Marines, honing their skills as they go from island to island, from country to country. Let's say Whitebeard gives Oden a task to defend one of his territories. You know that Neko and Inu and Izo and potentially Ace are going to be coming as well to help defend that territory with Oden. So they're going to be honing their skills a lot during the course of their journey on the Whitebeard Pirates, especially Oden as 2nd Division Commander. Whereas in Wano Country / Zou, it's still happening, but not to the same extent. I believe it's said somewhere where after Oden came back from his journey, he was more powerful. I think it's somewhere in the flashback, but I could be wrong about that. Either way, though, I think it makes a lot of sense. So simply apply that concept to Neko and Inu. Now, the increase in strength not only applies to those two, but also it applies to the entire Whitebeard pirate crew as a whole. Now, number one in this case will be Whitebeard himself, where in my mind, Whitebeard is, at Marineford War in the actual canon series, the weakest of the Yonko. Folks have debated this like, no, I don't give a damn. Whitebeard at that point in time, in my mind, was the weakest Yonko at Marineford War due to age, due to illness, and not taking care of his own body. That's essentially it. So, I would argue that if Oden is a part of the crew, Whitebeard is going to be more in shape, more on top of himself, because it'll be a very odd thing to where you have someone potentially stronger than you in your own crew and you're the captain of that crew. Oden is someone that I've said before time and time again, that if he was alive to this day, he would be as strong as a Yonko. Oden, again, the only person to give Kaido a permanent scar, arguably speaking, back then in the flashback, could have been an admiral, a current day admiral, in one-on-one combat. So Fujitora or Kizaru, a lot of folks, including myself, make that argument. Oden was that studly of a dude. If he was alive to this day as a member of the Pirates, he's gonna get even stronger. And Whitebeard has to match that. Now, even though because of old age, he'll get weaker, I would say it'll kind of be like, let's say I'm gonna say like a pre-time skip. A pre-time skip, Luffy compared to Zoro or Sanji, where Luffy's ahead, but not by that much compared to those two. And the same thing would apply here, I argue, with Oden and Whitebeard, where Oden will be behind Whitebeard, but not by that much. And because of Oden's strength, there should be a natural competitive dynamic with Whitebeard and Oden. Because again, how can you have someone that powerful in your crew and you're weaker as the captain? That doesn't make any sense. I've never seen a captain be weaker than a subordinate in any pirate crew, ever. So, Whitebeard, in this situation, is not the weakest Yonko. He's not. He's probably above Big Mom, maybe above Kaido, and Shanks. Well, Shanks is God King, so that's a no. But still, at this point in time, not the weakest Yonko, I would argue. And that's a very, very, very big thing. Whitebeard's in shape and on top of himself. Now, following that, the rest of the crew would also get stronger because of the Ryo teachings that Oden would bestow upon the crew. What?
Much later.
Yes. In particular, the swordsmen of the Whitebeard pirates, and in particular, the flower-blooming sword, Vista. Now, remember what I said before about Ryo and hockey in the pre-time skip, how it's a bit weird, how things aren't adding up in that sense. Like 10 plus 10 at this point in time is still 15 3/4, makes no sense. Hockey in this situation with Vista, like the Ryo hockey, in a general sense, for pre-time skip, Vista has stronger attacks.
Easy!
I think we can keep it that simple. Vista has stronger attacks, and he would fare better against Mihawk in this situation, because Vista and the other swordsmen in the crew are more powerful now, because I surmise that the reason why Rayleigh can utilize the Ryo Haki that goes inside of objects, like what we saw at Shogun Archipelago, is that he probably learned that, I think, or I'm willing to bet that he learned that from Oden, where Oden kind of told him about how Haki, just how we see the scabbards, when they actually stab Kai for the first time, well, we have that small little flashback of Oden saying, hey guys, Haki, the thing about Haki is, and then it cuts off from there. So I'm willing to bet that certain swordsmen in the Roger Pirates, Rayleigh, Shanks, those guys, they were curious about what Oden was doing in terms of like his sword Haki techniques, and Oden may have taught them that. And so the thing here is that Oden did join, of course, the Whitebeard Pirates first, duh. So maybe, it's possible that maybe already Vista knows the Ryo Haki that can go inside objects. Maybe he does, maybe. But even still, if he does, because Vista wanted to test himself against Mihawk, I don't see why he wouldn't be training or having fights with Oden on a regular basis to hone his skills as a swordsman himself. So Vista is coming out stronger, absolutely. And at a bare minimum, they all become stronger, meaning the entire Whitebeard Pirate crew, they all get stronger attacks. Boom, easy. And that also includes Ace as well. How much stronger? I don't know. And that applies for all of them. I would argue that Vista and other swordsmen in the crew more so, because Oden himself is a swordsman, so teaching them will be easier, I suppose. But Ace, I think, will get stronger too, have stronger attacks. In conclusion for this part, Oden is right under Whitebeard. Both Oden and Whitebeard are Yonko-ish level dudes. Maybe Oden is just at that cusp, but close enough. Very close. And unlike Rayleigh, he's still in his prime years at 57 years old. Oden requires admiral attention. Minimum one admiral. Just like Whitebeard. And given Oden's nature, where he just kind of charges in their head first like a bull, like he just sees red, and he goes in there, blitzes in their head first, Oden would bear the brunt of the onslaught of the admirals probably first and foremost. And then on top of that, if Inu and Neko are stronger, oh my god, granted, no full moon, but still, if Inu and Neko, who could fight for a period of 12 hours at a time on par with Jack the Drought, the madman that charged in against Sengoku and Fujitora and lived, the guy that survived Zunisha's attack. and in this case they're stronger, then it's safe to say without question that Inu and Neko would also require admiral attention. And also, because Whitebeard is a little bit better, a little bit healthier, still weaker than he was, but still healthier, not top one in the verse, but still better off than being last of the Yonko, right? Well, I don't think Squad gets that shot off on Whitebeard. I don't think it happened. Marco did say back then, because of him not taking care of his body, because of his age and so on and so forth, the shot got off. Where in the past it wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened in the past. If Whitebeard's a bit better this time around, I don't think Squad gets that shot off. Which to me also means no heart attack in the middle of the battle. Whitebeard, when he fights against an Am for the first time, Whitebeard is coming into that engagement clean. Clean. C-L-E-A-N, baby. Mr. Clean, squeaky clean.
Mr. Clean.
Oh! Woohoo! You love to see it. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Man. Kizaru and Aokiji also have a much harder time shaking off Marco and Jozu. Because again, Marco and Jozu are also more powerful. Slightly, probably, but still, with Oden's guidance, slightly, but surely more powerful. But what's even more important is the fact that, again, the heart attack moment doesn't happen, which means that Marco and Jozu never let their guards down for that instance where the admirals could take advantage of that. That one pivotal mistake on their part when Whitebeard had the heart attack changed a lot during Marineford War. But in this case, that is never going to happen. And then if things play out the way they play out, again, Luffy comes in there, Ivanko fights against Kuma, Boa attacks both sides, Do versus Crocodile, Vista versus Mihawk. The Shichibukai for the most part are pinned down. And this requires Sengoku and Garp to play more of a role in this battle. But Garp, emotional reasons, Luffy punch, like, no, it's a Garp's like, damn, like having a hard time on choosing what to do. That kind of stuff with Garp. No. At the end of the day, there's not enough admirals to go around in this situation. Even if you remove Neko and Inu, not enough admirals to go around, because you still have to deal with Chaden. Oh, I'll still have to deal with Chaden. No. And Whitebeard's coming off fresh. Like the man took a very nice bubble bath. Whitebeard's ready to go. Seize the day. Carpe diem. Blackbeard intervenes in this fight. Fine. But he's going to fail in taking Whitebeard's different power. Because part of the reason why he could was Whitebeard's condition before he came in there. Because let's say Akainu and Whitebeard go one-on-one when Whitebeard's clean, healthier, stronger?
Oh, hell no.
At the end of the day, Whitebeard Pirates take the W. Whitebeard Pirates take the fat W. Fat. Huh? I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, no. I'm not gonna say it's a mid-diff. High diff more likely, yeah. Extreme diff?
What the hell is you doing?
That's an So I'm not saying it's easy. No. But that's how much of a presence Oden is. And also keep on this too. When Ace is freed, this is also a stronger version of Ace. This is a slightly stronger version of Ace. So, gonna be hard to pin down Ace as well, even if Ace and Akainu do clash. And again, you don't know what's gonna be happening with the Mad Lad Chaden running around doing crazy stuff. You have no idea. There's a good chance that Jozu doesn't lose an arm. Mihawk can't take his eyes off of Vista. Like, wait a minute, whoa! That's how much of an impact Oden has on the Whitebeard Pirates. If he sticks around for the entire journey and is there. if we scale appropriately to how he's portrayed now in the story. Oh, it's ridiculous. No. Whitebeard pirates walk out in Marineford War with a fat W, dude. Fat W. Huge. Instead of being a member of the Whitebeard Pirates, Oden joins as an ally of the Whitebeard Pirates, as the Shogun of Wano. So in this case, if he kills Kaido, or he captures Kaido, or Kaido flees, whatever happens, Oden will beat Kaido. And then after he beats Kaido in Wano country, he becomes the Shogun of Wano country. The first thing he does, opens the borders to Wano country, obviously. Opens the borders to Wano country, and he establishes maritime rules and so on with Wano country, whatever you want to call it, and essentially he establishes a Wano navy of some kind, like the Scabbard Navy, kind of like, let's say, Hoppo Navy of Kano Kuni. So Kano Kuni, China-themed Hoppo Navy, Wano Kuni, Wano country, Japanese-themed Scabbard Navy, something like that, whatever I want to call it. And so the samurai now are coming into this with actual naval experience. They're coming to this pretty good. Because again, 20 years ago, in this situation, Kaido's defeated. This gives them 2 decades, or 18 years actually. This gives them 18 years to learn how to establish a navy and travel and establish trade routes and so on and so forth. Absolutely it's going down that way. And because of Oden's friendship with Whitebeard, Whitebeard may have Wano country as one of his territories in the New World, and or Oden will be recognized as a Yonko type person. He's not really a conqueror, but the people of the New World will understand Wano country's power, and it wouldn't be a wise idea to mess with Wano country, since in the actual story, Kaido himself was hesitant to go into Wano country because of the samurai. Their notoriety and their might would be even more so in this case, because they would now be an open country trading across the New World with very powerful warriors in tow. And then, very important, the Kozuki family ties with Zou. You see, it's not just the samurai. No. We have our furry friends. Gotta choose. We gotta choose. We have our furry friends coming in there with the mink army. So in this case, Neko and Inu, they're the leaders of Zou, or let's say one or the other is leader of Zou. And I say either or as a leader, doesn't really matter. But I say either or as a leader because it's clear that the reason why they hate each other for a long period of time was because of their failure and their loss to Kaido. It's clear. I recall them bickering to one another during the Hour of Legends, where Inu got mad at Neko for Neko doing something, and then things cascaded from there for decades. So if they win, they don't hate each other. So actually, in this case, Zou is probably a lot more prosperous and a lot stronger as a nation now because they no longer hate each other. So the Minks are going to be also default stronger. The Scabbards as well too, because they're going to be continuous honing and training their skills as the Shogun's men, the best of Wano country by a mile. So the Scabbards, all of them come in there hot, and the Mink are stronger as well. Now, the key thing here, though, is the Whitebeard Pirates. The Whitebeard Pirates, they're the same as what we see in the pre-time skip. They're exactly the same. Whitebeard, old, sick, not together his body, aged the same way, visited the same way, all that stuff is all the same. But they have a seriously mega powerful ally now in Oden and the Mink Samurai Army. And also, one thing too I want to point out, I'm not too sure if Yamato would join in on Oden's clique. I have no idea. The reason being is because, as far as we understand, the Hour of Legends is what made Yamato so infatuated with Oden. But in this case, it doesn't happen at all, because Oden defeats Kaido. But there's an off chance where Yamato maybe-ish, kind of, sort of, could join, be a part of Oden's forces, but massive doubt. Press X, because I'm not too sure. That being said, incoming massive ally of Whitebeard Pirates, the Samurai and the Minks. Again, hockey, I don't know, but the Electro and that kind of stuff still applies, clearly. Oden, requires, once again, Admiral attention. The Dukes, Inu Neko, still require Admiral attention. So they're actually probably more powerful in this case, but let's say for argument's sake, they're not. Let's say they're the same as what they were in the actual canon series. All right, fine. But those two together would still require Admiral attention. The Scabbards, them being stronger, require Admiral attention, I'd argue. However, in this case, Aokiji and Kizaru, mainly Aokiji actually, could probably focus a lot more on the Scabbards and on Nekomamushi and Inuarashi because Whitebeard's still sick, not in top form, still weak as Yonko, which means Squad gets the shot off in this case, which also means incoming heart attack. I argue that if not for Squardo's attack, Whitebeard does not suffer the heart attack, which does not give the Admirals an opening on Marco and Jozu. So in this case, they would probably get those shots off on Jozu and Marco. They're capacitated, but the Admirals now have a new force to deal with in the Scabbards, in Inu Neko, and of course, in the Chad himself. Because even if Oden is, let's say, not as powerful as he was if he were to still be on the crew, he would still require Admiral attention. Because if Oden, in my mind, could beat an Admiral back then, 20 years ago, I don't see how he couldn't, even as the Shogun Wano country. Since he's not going to be 65 plus years old, where like his power is like taking a nosedive, his power should still be on the same level, I'd argue. Meaning he could still probably beat Admiral in one-on-one combat. But Whitebeard still gets tagged, gets the heart attack. In this case, they still save Ace, but ultimately Whitebeard does die. If Oden is an ally, Whitebeard does die. So in this case, they walk with a W because they save Ace, but not a hard W. Like, that was a brutal, a chipped, but still a W. But that was a hard fought, wounded W. There is one thing though. There's one thing though. If oh boy. If Oden could bring over Zunisha, it's a wash. The Marines are getting folded. They're done. The entire Ford obliterated. They're not winning. You can Aokiji ice? No, they're getting destroyed without question. And I say that because Oden has the voice of all things. Momo commanded Zunisha. Oden, with more experience under his belt, could probably communicate better with Zunisha and maybe even have Zunisha go over there to Marineford War. If that happens, it's over. They're not winning. They walk with the fattest W of all time. Like, they fold the Marines. That's it. End of story. I don't care how many may go. No. This trunk. It's over. Thanks, Zunisha. Appreciate that, man. You're awesome, dude. Like, you're really awesome. Saved us a lot of lives and a lot of time. And then Zunisha. Okay, cool. That's it. That's it. Because you have to deal with Oden, Whitebeard, Marco, Jozu, and then all of a sudden there's a giant, like, mythological creature coming. No. Okay. Yeah, okay. Though I will add that there is the issue of the red line, obviously, where the red line kind of stands in between Zunisha's way from where it would be to Marineford. However, I have seen a crazy theory before where some folks theorized that Zunisha, because of its leg structure, it's possible that Zunisha could actually walk over the red line because it was a herd of elephants that adapted to the red line. It's pretty wild. It's pretty out there. Maybe Zunisha, if let's say the waters are a bit shallower in certain parts of the red line, maybe Zunisha could walk over the red line? But that's, woo, another day, another time.
俺は世界を見る
So, I'm done. I am done. Either way I see it, no matter how I see it, if Oden's there, they get the W. Even if it's Oden by himself and Oden alone, they still get the W because you're gonna have essentially 2 Yonko type dudes there. I don't see how the Marines can beat 2 Yonko type dudes. That's no. I just can't see it. Folks would argue, oh yeah, the Marines, no. I recall the scene where Shanks and Whitebeard had their meeting in the New World after Shanks destroyed like an entire naval fleet. The Gorosei and the Marines were on high alert just by those 2 forces meeting. If you have an individual that's an equivalent force of a Yonko alongside with Whitebeard during Marineford War, that'll be the realization of the world government and the Marines' fears. Like, oh no, there's another mega powerful legend alongside with Whitebeard. Again, the Admirals still have to deal with Marco and Jozu. And then the Shichibukai still have to deal with Luffy and company coming in with Eva-chan and Crocodile, and then Mihawk and Vista still happening. All these things are going down, where it's like, if Oden's there, nah. You can say, okay, well, Mihawk can kind of hold back Oden. Here's a question for you. And on this note, who's more powerful in the situation? Oden or Mihawk? Given the Chad's greatness now, woo, I don't know. Honestly, that's a lie. I'm leaning way more towards Oden than Mihawk if Oden was still alive to this day. I really am. But that's my stance. Either way, let me know where you stand on the subject matter at hand. Once again, it'd be awesome as all hell if you support your boy with a thumbs up, with a subscription, and of course, click on the bell to join the notification squad. I'm gonna see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care, stay safe, have a nice one.